Your Canvas account menu, which is in the upper left corner of your Canvas screen, is where you will access important features of your Canvas account, including your notification settings, your profile, and your personal settings, among other items we'll look at in this video. When we click on the Account button, a tray slides out that contains the account menu. The first thing I want to point out briefly is that if you would like to upload a profile picture of yourself, this profile link is where you would do that. You'll see a generic head icon that you can hover over and then click on this pencil and upload a picture of yourself. You can also click on the kebab here and click Edit Profile to put a bio that will give your students a little more information about you. Next, we're going to click on the Notifications link to get to our Notifications settings. Notifications are Canvas's way of keeping you up to date on all the activity that is going on in all of your courses. Notifications will be sent to your Camden County College email address by default. You can add another email address where they can be sent in addition or instead, and I'll show you how to do that on a different screen in a couple of minutes. By default, these notification settings apply to all of your courses in your whole account, but you can change that if you'd like to set up different settings for each course by selecting the name of the course in the drop-down menu. You'll also see that if you do choose to add a personal email address, you can have different settings for each email address where you receive notifications. There are a lot of different things that you can choose to be notified about or not, and you have a lot of control over if and how often you receive notifications about each activity. Over on the left is the type of course activity, and on the right is where that notification is going and how often. When you click on the icon, you'll see the options to get a notification about that item immediately, or get a daily or weekly summary, or turn notifications off for that item. You can see at the top that daily notifications are sent out around 6 p.m. and weekly notifications are sent between 6 and 8 on Saturday mornings. Daily summaries are a nice option. If you've had any activities that day that you've set for a daily summary, you'll get just one email in the evening containing an overview of all of them. Let's take a look at some of the course activities you can choose to be notified about. Many of these are more for students since they are changes or actions you'll be taking in the course, but some of them are helpful for instructors as well. You can hover over each item to get a little more information about what that notification does. Under Discussions, you'll see that you can receive a notification anytime a student mentions you with an @mention in a discussion post, or if a student reports a classmate's discussion post as being inappropriate. I do recommend leaving these first two items under Conversations turned on for immediate notification or a daily summary. Added to Conversation and Conversation Message will send you a notification when a student messages you through the Canvas inbox. I'll go further into detail about the inbox in another tutorial, but this is nice so that if you don't happen to be logged into Canvas at the time a student messages you, you'll still get a notification sent to your email address that contains the message, and you can reply right from your email account. So next we are going to look at how to add another email address to your Canvas account where you can receive notifications. To do this, we're going to go back to our account menu and click on Settings. In our Settings menu, on the right-hand side, you'll see Ways to Contact. Your CCC email address is in there by default. You cannot remove that, but as I mentioned, you can add an additional email address where you want your notifications to be sent by clicking on this link here. After you add and confirm a new email address, you'll see a new set of notification settings come up in the Notifications menu that pertain to that new email address. Let's look at some other important things in our account settings. You'll see some additional options if you click Edit Settings. If you want to set pronouns in your Canvas account, you can select your pronouns and then click Update Settings. You can also change your default email choice from here after you've added another email address, and you can choose your time zone. If you scroll further down, you'll see feature settings that you can enable. We won't go over all of these, but if you click the little arrow next to each one, you'll get a description of what it does. There are some items for enhanced accessibility here. For example, auto showing captions and enabling the high contrast user interface. Next, let's click on the Files link in our account menu. In Canvas, files are basically separated into two types: those in My Files that aren't stored within a course, and files that are stored in Canvas courses. You can see the list of folders in the left panel. My Files is at the top, and each course in your Canvas account has its own folder with subfolders where the course files are stored. You only have 100 megs of storage in My Files, and not a whole lot will be stored here by default. Your profile pictures, attachments you've sent or received through the Canvas inbox, and files you've attached to discussion posts will be stored here. You can search all of your Canvas files from here if you'd like, and you can also move files around, delete them, and upload new ones. Just be aware of your limited storage space in My Files. If you're ever running into trouble uploading an attachment, you may need to come here and clear out some space by deleting some files. There are a few other items in the account menu tray that I won't spend much time on, but do want to point out. You can log out of Canvas by clicking the Log Out button. If another instructor at CCC shares Canvas content with you by sending it to your account, you'll find it by clicking on the Shared Content link. If you download the Canvas Teacher app onto your mobile device, you can set it up quickly without having to find your school and log in by coming here and getting the QR code. You can also view any global announcements that have been sent out, even if you have removed them from your dashboard.